Mangwana ni mwalelepo fukenjani class vanave Africa. Welcome to Africa Good Morning, the news and current affairs show bringing you everything you need to know happening on the African continent and beyond. You are joined by Ashwin Berry and Diana Master. How are you, Diana?
I'm doing well. How are you doing?
I'm fantastic.
It's a good Thursday.
It's a wonderful Thursday, quarter to Friday, as they say.
A quarter to Friday.
Yeah.
But also a quarter to December, hey?
Yeah, we're there. We're there. You know, if you ask anyone to describe the end of October to December, they'll just tell you about 1 week.
Yeah.
And it will just feel like it was all December. So I get that feeling.
But before we get too ahead of ourselves, looking forward to December, let's take a look at what you can expect in today's broadcast. Nigeria aims to cut number of taxes to fewer than 10. This is according to an official. Ghana deposits seeds in Arctic Circle doomsday vault, and firefighters report 9 deaths in the last 72 hours. We'll take a quick ad break and return with our top stories right after that.
We are so excited to be kickstarting your morning with entertainment. Everything was happening during this past weekend.
Yes.
Exciting news.
Wow, no, she was killing it already.
In my opinion, I don't see anything wrong with him serving the full term.
As well as keeping you informed on the issues that you need to know happening in and around our country.
Now getting into our top stories, Nigeria is aiming to reduce the number of taxes levied by federal and state governments from more than 60 to fewer than 10, the head of a tax reform committee said on Tuesday, part of the changes to make it easier to conduct business and boost revenues. Africa's biggest economy has a tax to GDP ratio of 10.8%, one of the world's lowest, forcing the government to rely on borrowing to fund its national budget. Investors often cite Nigeria's many taxes and multiple revenue collection agencies for adding to the cost of doing business and discouraging investment. Taiwo Oyedele, President Bola Tinubu's advisor on tax reform, told reporters that Nigeria has over 60 official taxes and levies collected by federal and state governments and local authorities mandated by law, including unofficial taxes that agencies legally or illegally levy without the backing of law. Nigeria has more than 200 taxes, Oyedele said, adding that the large number was making life difficult for the people.
Ghana has deposited seeds in the Arctic Circle's doomsday vault in an attempt to ensure the long-term protection of the country's major food crops. The Svalbard Global Seed Vault, a facility nestled in an Arctic mountain on the remote Norwegian island of Spitsbergen, safeguards over 1.2 million seed samples, the world's largest collection of crop diversity in any single location. The vault is owned by the Norwegian government and designed to withstand all natural and human disasters. According to its operators, the facility provides permanent protection and preservation for food crops to ensure future global food security in the wake of disaster, earning it the nickname Doomsday Vault. Ghana's deposit was made by the West Africa country's Plant Research Institute and includes key crops like maize, rice, eggplant, and black-eyed peas. The Crop Trust, which runs the seed vault, said it has seeds from almost every country on earth. Ghana follows African nations like Ethiopia, Kenya, Nigeria, and Zambia in making a deposit.
Wonderful. I didn't know about that. Doomsday Vault. I personally would like to submit an Arsenal jersey just so that the world in the future can know of our glory days. Moving on with more serious news. The Civil Protection and Fire Service recorded 48 incidents in the last 72 hours across Angola, 9 of which were fatalities, the institution's communications office reported on Monday. According to the firefighters' summary report, among the fatalities, 4 were due to presumed drownings, 3 were suicides, 1 was a road accident, and the other was due to atmospheric discharge. During the period under analysis, the SPCB also recorded a total of 21 fires that occurred in the provinces of Luanda, Koando, Kobango, Huila, Lunda Norte, Zaire, Kwanza Sul, Kunene, and Biga.
Namibia's government has ordered police to stop Sinn Féin investments from transporting lithium ore inside the country and from exporting it, accusing the Chinese miner of violating the country's ban on critical raw mineral exports. In a letter dated October 19 and seen by Reuters on Tuesday, Namibia's mining commissioner Isabella Sheshe instructed the country's police chief Joseph Shikongo to stop any trucks carrying raw lithium ore from Sinn Féin's Kohera mine, about 250 kilometers northwest of Windhoek. They are not allowed to remove any material from their mine to anywhere within Namibia or outside Cheshire Road. She directed that all trucks bringing lithium ore to Walvis Bay, Namibia's main port, should be stopped and returned to the mine. Sinn Féin officials were not immediately available to comment. In June, Namibia banned the export of unprocessed lithium and other critical minerals as it seeks to encourage local processing and profit from growing global demand for metals used in clean energy technologies. The Southern African country has significant deposits of lithium, vital for renewable energy storage, as well as rare earth minerals such as dysprosium and terbium needed for permanent magnets in the batteries of electric cars and wind turbines.
Now, miners who were allegedly held hostage at Gold One's Monda East mine in Springs, Ekurhuleni, have started to resurface in dribs and drabs. According to Group 1 CEO John Hercourt, the workers that were held underground since Sunday night have slowly started to emerge from underground. He said that several of the miners that were held underground walked up the incline shaft and continue to emerge in drips and drabs. Around 200 people remain underground, and AMCU are demanding to be addressed by a member of management, National Union of Mine Workers Leadership, and an AMCU representative before releasing the balance of captives, said Hercourt. A police source said that balance of hostages are expected to surface after the engagement and hopefully resolution. Triage for injuries and headcounts are underway to match shift manifests. Now, the source added that there were around 15 injuries noted following the first surfacing. Stay with Africa Good Morning as we bring you more news after the break.
Welcome to What's Cooking, where culinary passion meets expert insights.
Somebody must really want to cook and want to cook good food.
Immerse yourself in the bustling world of professional kitchens as top chefs create mouthwatering dishes. Join us for in-depth interviews as our host explores the experiences and expertise of our guest chefs. Don't miss out. Tune in to What's Cooking on NTV every Friday at 2100 hours and let the culinary adventure begin.
You're still watching Africa Good Morning. Now, Africa's Eden Tourism Association is a 4-country regional tourism body representing the private sector in Botswana, Namibia, Zambia, and Zimbabwe. AE provides an unrivaled networking opportunity by bringing together domestic, international, and local tour operators, activity providers, travel brokers, lodging establishments, and the whole tourism supply chain.
Yes, and the association will be hosting their signature International Global Buyer event from the 10th to the 14th of November 2024 in Swakopmund. The International Buyer event is a conference featuring destination partners from across the 4 countries, tour operators, and travel buyers from all over the world. Chief Executive Officer of Africa's Eden, Gillian Blackbeard, elaborates more.
I'm Gillian Blackbeard. I'm the CEO and founder of Africa's Eden, and we are a 4-country regional tourism body representing the private sector in Botswana, Namibia, Zambia, and Zimbabwe. We are a non-governmental entity that is not for profit, and we work for the benefit of our members in the tourism ecosystem of the 4 countries. We're founded with the product, i.e. the tourism product, the people who own properties and activities in the 4 countries. And then we've expanded our membership to opening up to tour operators domiciled and based in the 4 countries. We also have on the downstream supply chain, which are suppliers of goods and services for the tourism product. So it's an ecosystem. One thing we don't do is we do not lobby. We provide the platform for our partners that affiliate with us. So therefore in Namibia, we affiliate with Han, and we provide that platform when our private sector members have questions. They put it through to us, we put it through to Han, and they take it further. We do entirely destination marketing, data collection, and create innovative platforms to promote the 4 countries and our members. Our majority of members are in Botswana and Zimbabwe. Okay. Zambia and Namibia are coming up. Obviously, having people like Gondwana means you have a lot of product with just 1 member. So when we categorize 406, you need to bear in mind it's holding companies. So that therefore it's most probably a lot more because they have lots of different business units. Okay, right. in November, from the 10th to the 14th of November, we're hosting our signature hosted global buyer event in Swakopmund. Africa's Eden has already done 2 of these events. Our 3rd one is happening this year in November in Livingston. We've done Vic Falls and Kasane. What that means is we bring the top 120 products, so they're the exhibitors, to meet the top 120 buyers in the trade from around the world.
Neo Paints has established a 67-year Namibian legacy, creating personalized paint solutions that blend quality and innovation for the Namibian people. We pride ourselves in being a 100% Namibian-owned company, investing in our country and our people by employing and empowering true Namibians. With every brushstroke, Neo Paints commits to our quality guarantee and always delivering a coat of excellence. At Neo Paints, we always stay true to our country. We are as Namibian as you.
So there's been a heat wave reported in Namibia, which is likely to last until Friday. And you know what happens with the heat? That's when the mosquitoes come out to shine. That's where they come out and give their very best to the community. Let's have a look at the weather predictions.
Hello and welcome to today's Sports Rep Show.
I am your host, Jesse Jackson Kauraifa. In replay, Namibia, who had won the toss for the first time on this tour.
Good day everyone, time for international sports news, starting off with tennis news, both on the WTA for women's and
All right, let's get into our economic news stories. Botswana's state-owned Okavango Diamond Company has temporarily halted its rough stone sales as part of an industry-wide drive to reduce the glut of inventory caused by lower global demand for jewelry. Its managing director, Metla Masire, said on Tuesday. ODC, which reported a record $1.1 billion in revenue in 2022, holds 10 auctions a year to sell its 25% allocation of production from Botswana Diamond Company, a joint venture between Anglo-Americans De Beers and Botswana in terms of the partners' gem sales agreement. Now, Botswana produced about 24 million carats last year, with ODC getting an allocation of about 6 million carats. The company has cancelled its November auction, and a decision on the December sale is still to be made as the industry battles slowing demand for cut and polished diamonds in the US and China, Masire said. For the first time, we have had to build up inventory as we do not want to just irresponsibly release goods into a market which is already oversupplied, Masire said in an interview. In August, De Beers said it would allow its customers to defer some of their purchases for the rest of the year. As part of a new agreement between De Beers and Botswana, ODC's allocation is set to rise to 7 million carats. Namasire said the company was working on introducing contract sales, a model that De Beers uses to sell 90% of its supply, among other new sales channels.
Sri Lanka's cabinet approved issuing free tourist visas to visitors from 7 countries, including China, India and Russia. A statement issued by the Media Ministry said on Tuesday to boost tourism and help revive its crisis-hit economy. Tourists from China, India, Russia, Japan, Thailand, Indonesia and Malaysia will be issued free visas till March 31st, 2024 under a pilot program, the statement detailing cabinet decisions said. The scheme is part of attempts by Sri Lanka to boost tourism recovery and hit a target of 5 million arrivals by 2026, the statement added. The country of 22 million people, famed for its beaches, ancient temples and aromatic tea, saw its tourism industry pummeled first by the COVID-19 pandemic and then by a severe financial crisis last year that saw mass-scale protests and shortages of essentials such as fuel. But the tourism industry is seeing a turnaround in 2023, with Sri Lanka clocking 1 million arrivals by September for the first time since 2019. The island is expecting to close the year at 1.5 million arrivals. India is the largest source of tourists with 200,310 arrivals, followed by Russia with 132,300. Latest data from the Sri Lanka Development Authority showed. Sri Lanka earned $1.3 billion from tourism in the first 8 months of 2023, up from $833 million during the same period last year, according to the central bank.
All right, those have been our economic news stories. Up next, economic indicators.
Good day everyone, time for international sports news, and starting off with rugby news first. An announcement made by World Rugby that's related to competitions starting in 2026, and that's trying to get all the best teams playing in the world at the same time against each other, with the different seasons being the theme the past few years. And it will entail that there's 12 teams playing in a Nations Cup from 2026. That will be the Six Nations team playing currently the Six Nations Championship, and also the 4 teams playing in the Rugby Championship in the Southern Hemisphere, joined by 2 teams yet to be announced. And also good news for Namibia, because Namibia will likely be in the next group of teams, so that will be ranked from number 13 to 24 in world rankings, and they will also play in a competition as from 2026. At the moment, Namibia 21st in the world, so they must make sure that they hang on to the top 24 position, and teams challenging Namibia for that position would be Chile in number 22, also Canada 23, Hong Kong currently number 24 in the world, and then Russia number 25. Just above Namibia would be Romania at the moment in 20th position. The current world rankings for men is South Africa number 1, it is New Zealand number 2, and Ireland in 3rd position. The competition will start in 2026, and there will be a promotion relegation only starting from 2030 onwards. Moving on to cricket news, Cricket World Cup continues in India. That's a 50-over World Cup. Good result for South Africa, important result, keeping them in the hunt for a top 4 position for semi-final playoffs. And they beat Bangladesh by 149 runs, and that was Quinton de Kock scoring 174. That was a good innings for South Africa. South Africa 382 for 5 in their allotted 50 overs, and Bangladesh bowled out for 233. South Africa not clearly in the top 4 already, but they're very close to that. They've got 4 games left against the top 2 teams as well on the rankings at the moment. They still need to play against India and also against New Zealand. Then on Friday, important game for South Africa, playing against Pakistan. And then after that, the last game for scheduled, the last game for South Africa would be against Afghanistan. And continuing international sports news with soccer news, and it is Champions League soccer, and a good result for Manchester United. They beat Copenhagen by 1-0. They played at home, and it was an unlikely goal scorer for Manchester United in defender Harry Maguire. Header, he scored his goal for Manchester United, and then the hero for Manchester United at the end of the game was Andre Onana. He's the goalkeeper from Cameroon, and he saved a penalty kicked by Jordan Larson. That is from Copenhagen. That was the last kick of the game. So Manchester United winning 1-0. Then on to another game that was played. It's Arsenal that beat Seville, a good away win for them by 2-1. That's a good comeback for them after earlier in the competition losing 2-1 to Lens. And closing today's international sports news with tennis news. 2 tournaments on the men's calendar on the ATP being played simultaneously in Austria and also in Switzerland. In Vienna, it's Vienna Erste Bank Open that's being played. Stefanos Tsitsipas, number 4 seed. He's had a good result. A difficult first round against Dominic Thiem, a former world top 5 player, and he beat him 7-6 and 6-4. And the number 1 seed in this tournament, the Vienna Open, is Daniel Medvedev, and 2nd seed Yannick Sinner. Then also it is in Switzerland. It's the Swiss indoor tournament that's being played in Basel, and Holger Rune is the number 1 seed, and he's from Denmark. He had a difficult first set. He lost it to Muammar Sodvadik the first set 6-1, but came back to win the second set 7-5 and the third set 6-3 to be through to the second round. The second seed player in the Swiss indoor tournament is Casper Ruud. He's from Norway. That's international sports news for today. Hope you have a great sport day, and we talk international sport again tomorrow. Goodbye.
eTicket, your online ticket solution for events and event marketing, bringing you ease of mind and making sure that your event gets out there. For more information, contact events@nmh.com.na.
You're still with Africa. Good morning. For those of you that are just joining us, here are the news highlights. Nigeria aims to cut number of taxes to fewer than 10, according to an official. Ghana deposits seeds in Arctic Circle doomsday vault. Botswana's ODC halts diamond sales as industry seeks to reduce.
Those have been our stories. Catch us on DSTV2 at 5, GoTV 25, 1up2.com, and on Namibia Media Holdings social media platforms. From Diana Master and Ashwin Berry, Sweda Jaganaka.